That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Comic Reviews. I'm Sid Part 2, and I have just a gigantic stack of books today and a trade to talk about. So we're not going to waste any time at all. We're going to get right into it, starting with the last thing I read, which was Predator: Life and Death, number 3 of 4. And apparently this is going to be tying into a larger thing that involves the, what do they call them? The engineers and the aliens. I'm not going to read those. Because I still haven't seen Prometheus, and I really don't have much interest in it. So if this doesn't end on a cool note for Predator, I'm definitely not going to read it. I don't know. So I guess the ship... One second. I guess the idea is the ship that the humans found and were kind of fighting over is something that the Predators were aware of, because... I guess there was a really subtle hint that the engineers designed the xenomorphs in order to combat the Predators. It's kind of like a biological weapon. I remember vaguely hearing that there's some hints to that in Prometheus. But it didn't work since the Predators are just playing with them. But anyway, so we have... So that's kind of the idea of what the ship that the humans, the colonial marines, have found is. Ultimately, that's a really clever way to tie everything together, I guess. And it's kind of cool to see the Predators just getting really well matched here. We're kind of used to the Predator, a single Predator is able to overwhelm a whole army, basically. And now that we got the colonial marines, they're better organized, they got better weaponry, so they're actually able to take on the Predators. Some of the art in here is really cool. I love this full page, but the thing that is getting me, and it's not just in this panel, the dreads, or tentacles, whatever you want to call them, on the Predators, they're drawn so stick straight, it's legitimately bothering me. Look at that, too. That's just so weird. They don't look like that, organic, curved look that I think the predator tentacle dreadlock looking hair should have. So that's just a small complaint about the art, but that just might be more of a stylistic thing. Overall though, this art is really impressive, and so there's not much else for me to say. I like the way the Predators are working in this. They're planning to take the engineers' ship, just like the humans want to take it to, I guess, advance their own technology or something. We're only able to get hints of what the Predators want from the humans. So I don't know. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. Like I said, I'm probably not going to pick up the rest of this life and death stuff as it goes over to Alien and Engineers, just because I haven't seen Prometheus. I never heard anything good about it anyway. And, I don't know, I'm not the biggest Aliens fan, and it seems the Engineers are more paramount to their franchise than they are to Predators. Honestly, Predator and Alien stuff is cool to cross over, and it's fun to see them together. I don't like how tightly a lot of Predator stuff is being connected to Alien. I really like the Predator Concrete Jungle game. I'll leave a link in the description to a Let's Play of the second half that we did on Geeky Gentleman. I wish we'd got more stuff like that. Just put the Predator in different situations. That's kind of what I liked about this. It's okay, the Predators are outnumbered now in the jungle. That's kind of a cool idea. Colonial Marines, they have better weaponry. And that's the stuff I'm really liking about it. But just connecting them so closely to Alien kind of bugs me. It's like doing a Superman origin that is somehow directly connected to the Kents. Or not the Kents, the Waynes. It's not the worst idea ever, but I kind of like these characters just have some autonomy. And obviously their origins aren't connected, at least as far as we know yet, but I don't know, part of Predator culture that's interesting is just the hunt, the purity, the power of the hunt. And to go off and make it some kind of weird political war with the engineers just bothers me. So yeah. Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor, Year 2, Number 9. That's not a mouthful. Did I miss an issue in here? Actually, you know what? Let's look. Let's look up on my phone if I missed an issue. Because I damn sure feel like I missed an issue. Maybe this book just comes out like way too infrequently for me. Because I swear I feel like I'm just missing like huge sections of what the hell is going on. Doctor Who, that's the 4th Doctor last week. Let's see here, I got... nope, 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Bombshells, Legend, Darth Vader, Godhead, nope. Predator, Poe Dameron, Batman Beyond, 18 Days, nope. Captain America, Darth Vader. Doctor Who, okay, here we go. In 323. Let's give a look at the description. Doctor Who, 4th Doctor... Oh, wait, really? Okay, so that was the 4th Doctor's book, though it doesn't look like it from... Oh, yeah, there it is. It's still in there. So why isn't it coming up? Oh, Doctor Who's 10th Doctor, number 7. I missed an issue. God damn it, comic book store. Okay, so I'm not going to talk too much about this. I kind of liked some of the ideas here, but my comic book store skipped an issue on me. So I have no idea what was going on. Even more so than normal with Doctor Who. Gabby and Cindy being together is kind of cool, though. I really don't like the art in this issue. That just doesn't look like David Tennant. Which, I mean, it wouldn't be a huge problem for the artists to kind of do their own thing and just get the vague shape of white guy, spiky hair. If not for the fact that the covers keep using pictures of David Tennant. If they were just doing straight art more, it would be less of a problem. But since they're not, it is. I don't know, Doctor solves problem kind of situation. Pretty basic story for Doctor Who. Okay. Yeah, pretty basic story for Doctor Who. Nothing new. Didn't really love any of it. I continue to love the cat, Rose the cat stories in the back. If you're not picking it up for any reason other than that, it's worth it. So yeah, this story was just okay. I'm sorry. I have like the lowest... Camera, work with me here. There we go. Batman Beyond, number 12. So here's the best issue we've gotten of Batman Beyond yet. And you know why? Because we get Terry McGinnis for the first couple pages of it. And then when it goes Tim Drake, it's bad again. They're not bad, but just less good. It's not really about anything when Tim Drake shows up again, and I have no idea if Return of the Joker takes place in this continuity for Batman anymore. It clearly can't with Tim Drake there. I guess Future's End, it kind of all works together because, you know, you got time travel, so I guess that kind of fits, but it's still really odd. It's odd to take, like, arguably the best thing from Batman Beyond and write it out. I don't know. Kind of disappointed by that one. It's just like, I thought when they originally started putting Batman Beyond comics in the DC Universe again that we were going to get some, some good stuff with, some good stuff with trying to blend those together. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll get some more Batman Beyond stories, and there's nothing that you can't have done from Batman Beyond continuity wise. It's like, it's certainly a little iffy on the Tim Drake thing, but it's not unreasonable to do, and you know, you can retcon that little bit of Return of the Joker, that Tim Drake just quit being Robin. No, you can work with that. But, and you could have brought the Joker back. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. We would have been used to it. But the more they try to make this stuff work, the more confusing and head-scratching it gets. Because they really try to have the series be a part of this, but the further and further they go with it, they should have just, like, said, okay, X amount of the series is a part of this. That Bruce Wayne is old and retired as being Batman is part of this. That Terry McGinnis, you know, the first episode's a part of it, and that's about it. And, you know, the villain episodes are parts of it, but anything that, like, hugely contradicts the DC universe, it's not a problem. I think we would have accepted that to have Batman Beyond comics, but really, just, Tim Drake, just quit being Batman, please. I'm so sick of Tim Drake being Batman. I'm sorry. I support the idea of Tim Drake being Batman, I just support it to be done well. And that's not what we're getting. And that's disappointing, especially for all you Tim Drake fans. I like this cover. I think it's a cool cover. That's about the nicest thing I can say. I don't like that people are drawing the Batman Beyond costume with very thick very pronounced muscles. I don't like that. Like, part of the sleek look of the animated series was the Batman Beyond costume. Just, it had that weird line between fabric and metallic, and it was just solid black, so you couldn't quite tell what it was, and I really liked that about it. In this, it just looks like another spandex body-type costume, and I don't know, it doesn't work for me as well. But yeah, some cool stuff in here. I guess, overall. Rewire, they're really pushing Rewire as the villain. Whatever works. This is a 4-part story. I'm waiting for it to be over because Tim Drake's gonna be gone as Batman Beyond, and Terry McGinnis is gonna be back, and it'll be good. Maybe. I hope. Can we get the old writer back on this too? Because his stuff was amazing. Didn't end great, but it was still really good. Moving right along. Star Wars, Poe Dameron, number 2. So Poe Dameron is just like a really cool, charming, fun guy. And so he gets kind of like a villain who thinks he's a really cool, charming, fun guy. I like that. That's a good idea. But no one likes him. Everyone's like just kind of... He's the guy who thinks he's cool, and thus is not. Captain Phasma gets a scene in here. No one cares about her, I guess. The villain's pretty friggin' hilarious, though. They're in this cave looking for Poe with the stormtroopers. And the people in the cave tell him, oh, we've never heard of a Poe Dameron. And then the stormtrooper goes, picked up the tracker's signal, sir. It's degraded. Looks like they tried to destroy it, but the device is hardened, can survive just about anything. Dameron was here. He probably still is. And the guy looks at the lady. He's like, oh, wow. Did you hear that? Guess you guys are just a bunch of liars. I like that. That's just a fun line. And Poe's pretty clever commander. He sets up a situation for the resistance to kind of bait the First Order, and it's just like a game of cat and mouse. So I like that. And Poe's nice. He's trying to do the right thing for people, and I like that. Doesn't want anyone getting hurt because of him, and so that was pretty clever. Pretty good stuff. In the end, he's being set up with a no-win situation, so it'll be cool to see how he gets out of it. Quite liking it. Pretty good stuff. Not as great as the other Star Wars books so far, but we'll see how it goes. The Lando book was so great, and this is just... it's alright so far. We'll see how it goes. Art's just okay, too. It didn't really jump out at me. But let's move along to Grant Morrison's 18 Days and go straight to one of the most gorgeous fucking spread pages I've seen. This is why we need more diversity in comic books. Not only in, storytelling, but in creativity and creation of it all. Who's the artist on this? Art by Jivan K. Jang. Art by Samon Patel. I think that's the artist for... I think the Jivan K. Kang. Jivan J. Kang, sorry, is the artist for the splash page. And it's just fucking beautiful. Oh my god, I love that. Like, that's... just take some acid and look at this for days, right? Oh, it's beautiful. Follow me on Twitter for advanced spoilers of my comic reviews, because I'll just be doing that most of the time anyway. I love this, though. The art in this is just fantastic. Like, a lot of times in comics, when you have characters just talking, the artist will just draw like a solid color in the background or something. They don't have time to really put much work into the background work. But through this entire conversation, it's like that Kirby Crackle stuff. It's gorgeous. Love it to death. Story is like it is a really classic. It feels like a very classical mythical situation. Both of these brothers who are about to go to war with each other come to Krishna to ask for him to take their side. And so Krishna says, I am bound to both Arjuna and the throne by ties of blood and duty. I cannot give either nothing. I offer one of you my army, my undefeated, invincible Narayan Sena. To the other, I can only offer myself. And Bhuma goes, that's an easy pick, Krishna. You could finish off an army in a second, I choose. And he says, let me finish. I will not fight this war. I will not wield weapons. I do not want to kill either of you. I offer myself only as a friend, advisor, and companion. And Bhuma goes, well, if you won't fight, that's a shame, but I'll take your army. Arjuna, I would have you by my side, my friend. Your soldiers may be strong, but you lose this battle either way. But cousin, this way will be shorter. Ha! And then Krishna, then we have an agreement. Indeed we do, and honor as always, Lord Krishna. I will return your soldiers unharmed. Kind of you. But then your thoughtfulness and compassion have always been legendary, Dorhanda. The Narhayi Sena fight as if possessed by tigers. They slay with precision and ruthless valor. It's a shame they're on the wrong side. The deadliest of weapons is blunted if its wielder does not know how to use it. It's just really cool. It's like that fatal error picking the army over the man, not thinking far enough ahead. That's just really cool. And then there's a second story in here where we get Bima's or not his origin, but Bima's courtship, where he got his wife from, and she's a demon apparently. So his child, the reason they want his child in the war so bad is because he's half demon and half super warrior. So he's gonna possess these amazing strengths. That's really cool. Yeah, just a nice little origin for him. And now the first trade of the first volume is out. So I highly recommend picking that up. If you didn't buy this in single issues, I recommend getting that online and checking it out. It is definitely going to be worth your time. And someone has just left the apartment. It's definitely going to be worth your time to pick up the trade. I highly recommend it. I thought it was fantastic. Like I said, it's a little hard to keep track of all the little plot lines, but that won't be a problem when you're reading it in trade. My biggest thing is still just getting the characters' names down. I'm pretty sure I just screwed up earlier in the video, but we'll ignore that. And that's just something. It helps that I have art, because I recognize them by looking at them. I don't really need to know the names, so that works. Well, there are a couple characters that the designs are really, really similar. So what can you do? I am going to move on to the next thing after I take a short break. Go ahead and move along now to Legends of Wonder Woman number 5, or The Legend of Wonder Woman number 5. Okay. So Wonder Woman finds out about the war and loves popcorn. She finds out what the war is exactly, and her and Etta go to be. Wonder Woman goes to be a nurse because they won't let her join the army, and Etta goes to be a performer for the troops, basically. There's a couple of clever references here. My favorite is that they go to talk to the reporter that was reporting on the whole zombie guy or whatever, and it's Perry White. I thought that was pretty cool. And he wants to start a newspaper of his own and stuff. That was a nice little touch. Also, it's always really fun to me to see the whole Wonder Woman fish out of water situation. She's sitting there with Etta in the movie theater waiting for the show to start. She starts eating popcorn, and she's like, she starts falling in love with it. It's just like the ice cream thing. I really like that. Then the movie starts to play, and she's convinced it's sorcery, so that was pretty fun too. But she sees the newsreel and just can't believe it. She's like, this can't be real. Tell me it's false. She's like, no, that's the war. That's what's going on. And then she sees a movie version of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which has Theseus and Hippolyta. Theseus, right? Is it Theseus? Yeah, Theseus and Hippolyta falling in love, and she's like, this is a disgusting display of my mother. So I really like that they continue to connect this to the myths surrounding Hippolyta in Greek mythology. There's these little connections and nods that they keep doing, and that's really cool. Anyway, so Etta and Wonder Woman leave the States to go fight in the war or help in the war effort in France. I really like that they brought Steve Trevor back, and I like how they do it. So Wonder Woman now knows who Steve Trevor is, but Steve Trevor ended up washing ashore on wreckage from the boat that they were on, just like Wonder Woman did. But because he left Paradise Island, he can't remember it anymore. It's part of a curse. It's if you're an outsider and you land on Paradise Island, once you leave, you won't remember anything. But he has a subtle memory of Diana, of an angel. It's I did have strange dreams of someone watching over me, guarding like an angel. I really like that. And you just get this vague outline of Wonder Woman silhouette kind of situation. But but Steve talks about how he wants to go back to fighting in the war. He wants to be useful. He wants to help. He's like, my superiors think I'm better used smiling for newspaper pictures than flying planes. It's to give people something positive to take their minds off the war. But I'm a fish out of water when on the ground. It sounds silly, but I feel right up in the skies. Diana cuts him off. Like you are a bird, free as you are carried on the wind to the next adventure. Yeah, exactly. Actually, how... I just really like that. That was really clever. And it's like... And then they also do some other stuff. Edda says, how can we help the war effort, and yada yada. And Trevor goes, there isn't much room allowed to women who want to help their country. I find that very unfair. And Diana says, I agree. You know, it's not fighting alongside us, but we're desperate for volunteer nurses to take care of the wounded. It's very dangerous, however. I really like that. And that's how Wonder Woman and Edda are going to go to... are going to get to France. And then there's just like a fun scene toward the end where Etta Candy's rival is going to be a performer as well. And Edda's complaining about her and everything. That fat-headed, low-down, scrag-faced skunk. She's always followed me around, nipping at my heels, trying to steal my thunder. First to Boston, now Europe. And Diana goes, do you wish me to duel her? She will fall quickly. I really like that. It's like such a good friend. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is getting better and better as it goes. So that's great. Cool stuff. You can pick this up digitally if you've like missed the first couple issues and don't have any way to get back issues. This is a digital first comic, so you can actually be ahead of me right now. By like 3 issues, maybe? I don't know. 5 of 9. So you could almost be done and tell me how good it gets. Oh, one little thing on the art. Or not really the art itself. The pencils are good. And it's weird because I complimented on this earlier. I complimented it on the fact that Wonder Woman and a lot of the Amazons didn't look white. They looked like Greek. Just a darker complexion because, old world, stuff like that. Wonder Woman looks a little orange in panels in this one. But the coloring's, like, it's taking that point and it's just making it go just a little too far. I'm not saying make her whiter, but just darken it up a little bit so she doesn't look as orange. She looks like she's from Jersey, not from Themyscira. She looks better in the dark, though. When they're in the movie theater, she looks pretty good. But yeah, maybe it's just the lighting of the locations they had her in. I don't know. Anyway, I guess they're trying to do the whole bronze look thing, that classic idea of, the Greek bronze god statues, but I don't know, I think you can strike a little bit better of a color balance. It's just something that distracted me, so I just wanted to point it out. And I just really want to make like a parody of Wonder Woman, but she's from Jersey. I should go get some gum to do this voice, but I'll see if I can do it. Oh my god, I'm like... No, that's a Valley Girl. Fuck it, I can't do a Jersey accent. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to Sam Wilson, Captain America, number 9. So you know how I was really uncomfortable with them making it look like Steve Rogers was going to be Captain America again and Sam was going to get the boot? They're really doing stuff with that, and I appreciate it. We so often we have legacy heroes and then the original hero comes back and we're kind of like, oh, well, okay, I guess. And it can work. It worked with Green Lantern really well with Hal Jordan because that was very respectful to Kyle Rayner and gave him his own stuff to do still. And that was great. Flash Rebirth didn't do it as well, but there's still a lot of respect for Wally West in that book. And I don't know, this is handling the whole issue though of the hero comes back, and the original hero comes back, and now we address the where the legacy hero's role is. And this is addressing that really, really well, and I really, really like it. There's some great stuff in here, just about Sam Wilson trying to be Captain America, but still trying to do his own thing, and Steve Rogers coming back, and Steve isn't Captain America, and Sam Wilson's going back to being Falcon. They're being Captain America together now, and I really like that. And they're trying to take down Maria Hill for what she did with the Pleasant Hill idea. That's really cool, too. But yeah, Sam's just dealing with all these issues, and he's in a relationship with Misty Knight. I'd suspected it, but I wasn't sure, just because. And hey, look, we get silhouetted male character in the nude, so there you go. Everyone that wanted stuff like that, I'm happy for you. Like, we get hints at nudity with Misty Knight, but not nearly as much as we're getting with Sam in this scene, so that's good. Good for them. Now we're setting up a new story arc in this. I don't know, I just really like this scene, this exchange at the end. Sam stops a villain that tried to assassinate Steve. And the guy's like, I was there, you know. Pleasant Hill. And when I woke up, I said, that's it. I'm out. I'm not doing anything that would ever risk getting me put in a place like this again. So I stuck the jetpack and gauntlets in a storage shed, started going to Gamblers Anonymous meetings. Felt good, actually. But I just kept watching the news, waiting for something to happen. I mean, when the town went to hell and all the Avengers showed up, when Captain America showed up, I said, well, at least there's that. At least they'll pay for what they did to us when the dust settles. I figured if they didn't shut down S.H.I.E.L.D. completely, they'd fire Maria Hill, start all over, or at least there'd be something. But no, not a word. Which means all you high and mighty heroes, you went right along with her. Just covered it all up like nothing happened. Then I saw this celebration. Then I saw this, a big celebration for the return of good old Steve Rogers. And I realized that's what came out of all that happened to me. Out of all of us having our lives taken from us. A fucking party. It's not that simple. No, of course not. But I remember when you had your little press conference too. The one thing you said you were going to change. The one thing you said when you were going to change things. That you were going to do things differently. Not so different now, are you? I really like that Sam's being confronted with all this. And so what's going on with Maria Hill? Well, she fucking did some shit she shouldn't have. And Sam's not happy about it. He's like, no, fuck you. You're going down for this. She's like, well, if you want to do that, you can try. But there's a reality of the situation that if all of this goes public, the only way to take me down is to make it all public. And if it does, it'll plunge the world into chaos if they found out what really was going on at Pleasant Hill. And so Sam's right about on the verge of going public about it. And Steve stops him and suggests trying to take Maria Hill down from the inside so that she's not able to get away with everything that she did. And Sam agrees to the plan, but he also isn't happy about it. And this is good because it's building on stuff, right? Because we had that first story arc, those first 6 issues, end with Sam telling the big business guys that were helping out Serpent Solutions. He tells them, I'm taking one of you to jail, and the rest are going to cover up his slack, and you're going to get your shit in line. And he did that because he didn't like the reality of it, but, you know, the whole idea of too big to fail. They may deserve to go down, but can we really let them go down? Can I'd feel good about myself. I'd probably get some pats on the back at first, but then once all these corporations crash and people are left with no way to pay their bills, how do I feel then? And so Sam's dealing with this really shit sandwich of you know, what do you do in that situation? And it might sound easy to... It might sound like the easy and obvious choice to go, well, you take him in because it's the right thing to do, or you take him down because it's the right thing to do, but it's like, yeah, but you that decision doesn't exist in a vacuum. Can you do that and then look at the consequences of it that you cause and really potentially ruin people's lives and still say it was the right thing to do? When you have no means, you barely have the means to support yourself. As in Sam's situation, this obviously applies to everyone really. When you barely have the means to support yourself and you have no conceivable way of providing for the lives that you are going to potentially ruin when trying to do the right thing, is it the right thing anymore? I really like that idea, and that's continuing. They're continuing with that. Can Sam strike the balance of trying to do the right thing, to make the actual change, and not just put band-aids on the system? Can he perpetuate changing and advancing and improving the system? And he's trying, but it's really not an easy task. So I really like that. It's good stuff. Nothing to really say about the art on that one. Okay, last book. This one I picked up on a whim. Just because The Flash versus the Riddler. And what I liked about this is it really feels like it just, there's some stuff going on in it that I don't know about, but it's standalone enough that it worked for me. I was really happy about that. And I was really happy that Riddler's written really competently, really intelligently, and he's, he puts the Flash into a no-win scenario. And it's such a no-win scenario that we're skipping right to the end, so spoilers. The Flash has to turn himself in to the Riddler, and it looks like the Flash is, planning this big thing, and maybe he is, because I'm here, Riddler. My name is Barry Allen. I'm Barry Allen, the Flash, and I surrender. I really like that. The Riddler put him into a no-win situation. The Riddler's... everyone goes, oh, why does Batman have any chance against Superman or the Justice League when it's constantly, psychopaths and just mobsters or whatever that cause him so much trouble? And it's you put those characters up against any of these heroes, and you really, really write them well, it's totally plausible to put them in situations where the hero's at their mercy. That's what's at least potentially going on here. The Flash has probably got a way out of this. He's probably going to outthink the Riddler, but still, Riddler's plan in here is damn solid, damn good stuff. I'm excited for the next issue. I'm going to read the next issue, and I imagine that'll probably be the end of the story arc, since that'll be when we're in Rebirth territory. Yeah, I really like that. It's good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And I even like the riddle that the Riddler gives in this. As Flash is running... the Riddler has a bunch of drones set up with guns, and he's got them all pointed at the Flash. And the Flash goes, "You want to go up against the Flash one-on-one, Riddler? Fine by me. But the thing about guns is no matter how many you have, I can tear them apart piece by piece before they can even fire one round." And he destroys all the Riddler's drones. And as the Flash is running to the Riddler, pacing's a bit odd here, but as the Flash is running to the Riddler goes, "Quite a thought experiment, isn't it? Now, the Flash is faster than a speeding bullet, so how do you stop him? I've been puzzling over that one for a while, I'll admit. Then I remembered an old riddle. Fast you travel, but I travel faster. The faster you travel, the farther away I get still. Close as you may get, the faster I still will be. What am I?" And as the Flash goes to punch the Riddler, Flash says, "You're about a second and a half away from a world of hurt. Oh, Flash, the guns were never meant for you. Light is always faster." And so I really like that. To be fair, the Flash can run faster than the speed of light, but the idea here is really clever, that Riddler has set up a bunch of drones with guns on them to just random people in Central City. So no matter how fast Flash goes, if he doesn't listen to what the Riddler says, he's not going to be able to get to all of them simultaneously. That's really brilliant. I really, really like that. Cool stuff. What am I supposed to do, Flash asks. Riddler puts on some brass knuckles and he says, just stand there and take it. And just starts beating the shit out of the Flash. That's really clever. And then he's in even more of a no-win situation by the end of the issue. And I'm curious to see how he gets out of it. I'm sure he will, but unless, are we going to just end New 52 Flash on him getting murdered by the Riddler? That might be a little sad for everybody. Whatever, it works. I like it. Fun stuff. And that'll end the fun stuff for tonight. Or for today's episode of Comic Reviews. So, I'm going to take another quick break and we're going to get to the trade talk this week. Alright, let's talk about Zero Hour. What is the plot of Zero Hour? I'll tell you whenever I figure it out. I know the basics of it. Hal Jordan picking up from where we left him in Emerald Twilight, has now gained ultimate power and wants to recreate or fix the mistakes of Coast City and recreate it. But now he's got ultimate power and the knowledge to recreate the universe from the Guardians, and he understands that he was thinking too small. He understands that he was thinking too small and that he needs to think grander, so he tries to wipe out all of existence, succeeds, and start over, create his own universe, be a god basically, and create everything how he wants it to be, absolutely perfect in his mind, no pain, no suffering, and everyone gets every world that they need, like everyone gets to be happy. He is in some ways the ultimate fanboy trying to fix the DC universe. I guess a good way to compare what Hal Jordan is trying to do is there's an episode of Justice League, or 2 episodes because they're all 2-parters, where the League goes to that really cheesy comic book world and it all turns out to be some psychic kid's plan or whatever, or creation. That's kind of what he's going for. He's trying to recreate reality as he wanted it to be. That part of it I like. Again, it picks right up from where his character is at the end of Emerald Twilight. And just the idea of it really works for me. There's a moment early on in this series where Superman and Batman talk to each other, and it's apparently the first time they've seen each other since the death of Superman and the events of Nightfall. And it's kind of and they talk briefly about that. It's like Superman says, well, you've recovered quickly, and he goes, not nearly as much as you did. And so that's a reference to Nightfall and Doomsday. And yeah, Hal Jordan was going through the exact same thing with Emerald Twilight. That is literally the exact same thing. He's confronted by an overwhelming force that he was unable to stop, and it destroyed him in the most profound way possible. But whereas Batman, it broke his back, and Superman, it killed him, it destroyed Hal Jordan by destroying everything he cared about. And that's what made him break, and the other two are back to where they were. I thought that was really clever to parallel that and put that together here. The rest of the story, I don't know what the fuck is going on. They're jumping back and forth in time. They're following a million characters. I don't know shit about DC continuity from this time period. So fucking Power Girl is pregnant. Fucking Christ, I don't know what the hell is going on. It is painfully inaccessible to read. Like, you know how, if any of you got into comics kind of later on in life, like I did, didn't start reading when you were a kid. You know how you were afraid that comic books would just be this convoluted mess and trying to jump into them would just be impossible to understand what the fuck is ever going on, and you'd need to like take a class to learn anything? That's how I feel reading this. It is so unbelievably inaccessible that I have no conception of what the hell is going on in 0 Hour. So yeah. The story is garbage. It's still founded on what I think is a really legitimately brilliant idea. Like I say, this is the era of destruction for a lot of heroes, isn't it? Because we had Superman Doomsday and we had Batman and Nightfall. Wally West became the Flash around the same time. I don't know. I think there was some really, really clever stuff here. Is it good? No. But there's some clever stuff that I enjoyed reading. I'm glad I read it, I guess, even though it felt painful. Like, I tried to go into this a couple months back, and I tried 2 or 3 times just sit down and read it, and I could not make myself do it. And the reason you're getting this video so late today is I was trying to read this over the weekend, but I was falling asleep doing it. So I had to get through 3 more issues today. And trying to do that, I'm still like, oh, it was painful. I just wanted to put this down so many times. This is just impossible to read. And also, of course, since this was the main book of the event, don't know what the fuck's going on between issues. There's just like major sections of the story missing. Like, this ends with Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner holding Hal Jordan so that Green Arrow can shoot Hal with an arrow. It's a pretty cool, bittersweet ending for, especially for Green Arrow. And fucking guy who looks like Yellow Firestorm, whose name I can't even remember because he's so goddamn unimportant. He says that he couldn't save Hal or the new Green Lantern in the process of recreating the universe without Hal's interference. Now I know that Kyle Rayner had a very long run as Green Lantern. And I know he did because he comes back, with the rebirth, he's in it. And I know Hal Jordan's supposed to have sacrificed himself to reignite the sun. I don't know where that story happened at, but it damn sure wasn't in 0 Hour. I don't know where the Spectre thing happened at with Hal Jordan, because it damn sure wasn't in 0 Hour. And you know what? I just don't care. I was interested in Hal Jordan's downfall, not his little fake ass redemption. Making Hal Jordan a story of redemption is just not work at all. And Johns picks up on that, and I'll talk about it a lot with Rebirth next week. But yeah, I recommend reading Emerald Twilight because I do think it is legitimately good, and it's painful to read, but it's hard to read in that it's tragic to watch this happen to a character that you love. But I recommend reading that before getting into the Johns stuff because it is really important to Hal's character and just a lot of stuff Johns does in his run. If you absolutely need to know what happens in 0 Hour, read a summary. Don't read the book. It's not worth it. Don't do that to yourself. It's not okay. Yeah, normally I like to do a little bit of a plot summary when there's something that's, kind of old that not everyone has read. I don't even know where to fucking begin. So you just immediately got my thoughts on the thing, and I did not like it. Emerald Twilight is steps and steps above this in quality. So yeah, there you go. Sorry, folks, if you're a big 0 Hour fan, because I must have so many of those. I think this is the most stuff I've ever talked about on comic reviews. And I'm sorry I blasted through some of those, but yeah, I didn't want this to be a 3-hour video. If you have any suggestions for ongoing series that are coming out, please leave them in the comments below. I'll keep an eye out for at least one issue and pick that up. Someone suggested Bloodborne. I'll see if I can find an issue next chance I get to go to some of the other comic book stores, but the store I have that I go to every week doesn't have it yet, so like I say, I'll try to keep an eye out for it, but yeah, single issues I'll keep an eye out for and try to read at least one issue, and if I like it well enough, I'll put it on my pull list. Trades and graphic novels, please leave suggestions for those in the comments below. I'll keep my eyes out for it, and if I see it, I'll make sure to pick it up. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching. Till next time.